What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Smark Announce Table edition of Smark Out Moments Smack Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Mango, and joining me on the mic for this episode is Callum Wiggins.
2 miles of chain.
Hold on, let me get my baton real quick and just smash things.
Do you think that could punish the human body?
It might. I don't know. And also, somebody who's back is Robert DeFelice.
I don't know if I'm better than ever, but we've got 2 miles of chains, 10 tons of steel, and Shawn Michaels in some really doo-doo brown looking tights. Let's do this.
Yes, we are preparing ourselves for the upcoming first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match coming up at Elimination Chamber 2018. And you're going to hear me say the word Elimination Chamber so much during this. But to prepare us for that, we are going to be watching the first ever Elimination Chamber match of them all. This took place at Survivor Series on November 17th, 2002 in Madison Square Garden, New York, of course. And if you're unfamiliar with what the Smark Announce Table is, well, essentially what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be watching that match, just the match itself, not Survivor Series 2002, I almost said, 2002 in its entirety. No time to do some, 2 hour, 45 minutes type of thing? Nope, not going to do that. What we do, though, is we will be watching the match itself and just kind of goofing around and saying our commentary for it. Not our color commentary, just our thoughts about, the match itself and any kind of jokes we can think of and insight that we can point out and anything else like that. So, unfortunately, for copyright reasons, we cannot give you the video of the match itself on our YouTube channel. So instead, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to the WWE Network yourself, and you're going to have to set your time to the time code of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 31 seconds. That's 015231. And when I give you a countdown of 3, 2, 1, play, well, hit the play button. You'll be synced up with our audio, and everything will run smoothly. Unless we have an issue. If we have an issue, then we'll try to figure it out. But that is how it works. So remember, it's 3, 2, 1, play, and that's when you hit the play button. Get yourself situated here. Got yourself all good? Yeah, there you go. 152.31, everybody. 3, 2, 1, play. So now you should just see Bischoff just pretended like he was going to hit somebody. He probably should have. And we get to hear good old Fink. Nobody beats the Fink. Although I did outthink the Fink once.
Did you?
I was on a live chat of NXT, and I called him out on a mistake that he had made, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's right, sorry." And then I messaged him and said that I just outthink the Fink, and then he didn't retweet anything else that I was saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2002, and we have Saliva coming to you live from WWF New York. I'm sorry, WWE New York. They were WWE by this time.
Yeah, wait a minute, what? This isn't Jericho's theme. All right, now, for reference, I don't think I've ever seen this match. If I have, I might have seen it only once. So, now I'm confused.
Saliva were performing the theme for Survivor Series. It was always, I think, was the theme for this entire event. They decided...
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And so Josie Scott here, in the prime of his career, looking like The Undertaker and Paul Bearer had a really... rock looking child.
So why don't they have him actually coming out to his music?
Well, Saliva don't play his theme. So
the anthology album that this is featured on was just released, and he came out to it for like a month or so, but then they just went back to Rick Rolls Down.
Yeah, I think they intended to him to have this theme for a little while, but decided just to go back to the original one. Also, it's going to get quite awkward because I think they stick with Saliva playing it while he's in the cage for about 2 minutes now. So,
yeah, this is very strange.
Yeah, they have to get their shit in.
Jericho sings his own song again in like 2004 with "Don't You Wish You Were Me." He uses that for a month before going back to Break Down the Walls as well.
So, I mean, I like the song Always, and there's other Saliva songs that I remember having in my collection, but I don't remember offhand what exactly ones they are. I don't pay attention to bands ever in any capacity. Like, I don't give a shit who sings any song ever. And looking at these dudes now, this is so 2002.
Oh, it's so 2002. It's great.
Like, I mean, this guy is just gonna pop up on like TRL and be like, yeah, it's all like we're going for a different sound, man, and stuff like.
It's like
All the rings and shit.
These were the years in WWE where they were transitioning. It was like Saliva one year and then Limp Bizkit the next, and then back to Saliva and then Limp Bizkit. Just trading between those two.
And we go from Saliva to Booker T.
The classic Booker T theme, an actual good theme. Okay, so this is firmly in the era where Booker T looked confused all the time. The whole like, oh shit, where am I? Madison Square Garden? Oh, right, fuck, it's a chamber match. Okay, never mind.
To put it into context, this is before he's probably challenged for the World Championship before, but this is before he goes into like the big feud with Triple H over the title.
He's the only one here who did not challenge Triple H this year. Everybody else has had Triple H all year, and this is hell for Triple H. Basically, the premise of this match.
And so this is an era that you guys were. I mean, there's a different range between us. Like, I had stopped watching a little bit before this. I stopped it was 2000 or 2001. So I was not watching this at the time. Hence why I said I don't think I've ever seen this match actually before. But Callum, you didn't start watching wrestling until after this. Robert, what about you? Were you watching around this time?
There's actually never been a point in my life where I wasn't watching. I was 9 here, and I remember watching clearly to this day.
I mean, I was watching this. I mean, I think this is it's definitely one of the first pay-per-views I ever saw. It was either this or WrestleMania 19. I'd only started watching wrestling around about like middle of 2002, and I wasn't watching Raw at the time, so I definitely don't remember watching this match live.
Yeah, a lot of my friends who are the same age say that they didn't watch Raw a lot as a kid. My parents really didn't care, so I watched Raw until 11 o'clock, and, with all the hot lesbian action and everything they had going on, should not have been watching it, but I was.
Or should you have? And it formed you into what you are today, that kind of thing.
Hey,
still good old
Shawn
HBK.
Michaels.
And I was going to say, this is right at the origins of the Triple H Reign of Doom, with the World Heavyweight Championship, which basically killed Monday Night Raw and a lot of people's interest in professional wrestling in general.
Okay, we're going to go back and forth there because Triple H here, this is the prime Triple H to me. Like, this is Triple H at his best. This whole match is going to be a showcase for Triple H. He starts the thing with RVD, that much I remember. And it's really, really good. Triple H is top 5 all time for me.
I have my issues with Triple H here and there, but I mean he's not top 5, maybe not a top 10. I don't know for sure, but Triple H is up there. Although you know what sucks? HBK's hair
and tights
and his tights, man.
Yeah. Oh, right now he's still stripping off the tights, so it's still fine. But when he does, I mean, you got like the AJ Styles kind of mom haircut, and HBK even back in 95 or so, he had some good tights on him. But what was the decision with this one? It was just brown.
Is that the Roman Reigns logo in the middle of this?
Yeah, I don't understand it at all.
Dance and a thing.
That's supposed to be a cross because he's just a newly reformed Christian.
Yeah, I mean, this is only his second WWE match since 1998.
Isn't that weird? It was like, oh, Shawn might kill himself at SummerSlam. Oh wait, he's healthy. Let's throw him in this first ever chamber.
There's a lot of I don't know how much you guys know about the event Survivor Series in general. There was a big feeling because obviously there was a previous match for the WWE Championship was Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show, and that was actually meant to be Brock Lesnar versus Hulk Hogan.
What?
Yeah, but Well, essentially, they didn't do it because Hulk Hogan refused to lose the match. But this is my issues with Triple H in this period. Is nothing to do with him in the ring, because I think he's definitely a brilliant ring general and great in between the ropes. But this was the point of time where he was using his influence to basically get anything he wanted at this point. I mean, he still has that to his day, but now he's kind of using it in a better way with NXT.
Yeah.
But now this was all about just pushing him as the guy when he definitely wasn't the guy.
Well, how does that
Name
factor in with
somebody
the
he
Lesnar match?
fought in those 12 months that was the guy. He went through the WCW roster after this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to lose the title either.
Well, let me put it this way. I've always left with a sour taste in my mouth that he didn't drop the title to Booker T at WrestleMania 19. Because Booker T was ready at that point, and he essentially killed him until King Booker came around.
Wait, Ric Flair's coming out with him. Is this pre-Evolution, like the start of it?
This is right
Early Evolution.
Right before Evolution. He just teamed up with Flair.
Okay, so they're not Orton's not a part of it yet, and neither is Batista.
Nah, we got a couple months before we get there.
All right,
this is pre-Evolution.
This is so primordial right now.
Like, look at how the mass on him here.
Yeah, you'll see that on a lot of superstars. This is definitely pre-steroid, steroid
regulations. Pre-steroid free.
And Rick looks a whole lot healthier since it's,
yeah.
16 years in the past.
Yeah, this is the point of time where Ric Flair still looked like the guy in WCW, and then he gradually gets a lot older in the next few years.
Yeah, by the time he hit his retirement, he started to look like what he does now.
Mm.
So, Tony, what match got you out of wrestling, and what brought you back around?
Well, what got me out of it was I got sick and tired of every single segment being, let's talk about The Rock and Stone Cold. And it would be like, the New Age Outlaws would be out there wrestling, I don't know, the Headbangers or something like that. And they would be like, yeah, but did you see what Stone Cold did earlier? And did you pay attention to it? Let's cut to a video in the bottom corner of the screen of what he did earlier. And it's like, I'm watching a fucking match right now. Like, why are you doing that? And I got into middle school, and that was like a whole, there's always a transition when you go into middle school and you're trying to like find out what's cool and stuff. And nobody else was really watching wrestling. So I couldn't even like talk to anybody else about it and stuff. And I just kind of gradually got out of it. But what got me back was actually Dace one day was like, so you haven't watched wrestling in a while, right? And I was like, nah, not for years and stuff. And he goes, DX is back in 2006. And I was like, fuck yeah, all right, I'll watch this.
Yeah.
And I was confused as hell because there's like the Spirit Squad, and I'm like,
yeah, things have changed a lot.
But I actually got back into it, oddly enough, like 100% soundly. I was kind of going back and forth here and there in the 2006, 2007 range of like, I don't know if I really want to start watching wrestling again, and like, kind of like testing the waters. And then the Benoit thing happened, and I was like, at the time I talked to my dad, and I was just like, yo, you remember Chris Benoit? And he's like, yeah, the WCW guy. And I'm like, yeah, apparently he just like died. And this is back before we knew, what was going on. And we're like, oh shit, let's watch Monday Night Raw tonight. Like, then the next day, hey, remember what happened last night on Raw?
Triple H hits the steel. First person to hit the steel.
It's an honor.
Yeah.
Hunter's going to kill himself here.
You'd hope so. To put this into sort of context, Triple H had only recently been awarded the World Heavyweight Championship by Eric Bischoff, so he hadn't won a match to win the title. He's defended it a few times so far against Rob Van Dam and Kane at recent pay-per-views. Also, the match against Kane was the end of the Intercontinental Championship for a while as well, because he unified that title with the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's so weird that they would have done that.
I know.
This is a weird time period. There was only the two world, the two tag team, and the women's, right?
Yeah, they were going crazy in especially towards the end of Raw. He's already busted open Triple H. They were going crazy towards especially in 2002 for Raw, of unifying titles. Like,
Well, they had a lot
Useful.
of them, though.
like at the start of 2002, they had the European Championship was still there, and the Hardcore Championship was still there. It was all gone by this point.
Good. We don't need that European title.
Oh, this is a
See, this is what I don't like about Rob Van Dam. He just did some flip for no reason to do a flip to set up a flip. And it's like, dude, you're
How
bouncing around all over the
hilarious
place, and
that-
all you need to do is just kick him in the fucking head. You know,
Yeah.
like...
But how hilarious is that in context, looking at 2018 and where we are with the flipping style of wrestling now?
Oh, like,
Yeah.
I'll like it if they're doing, like, if there's the style of the match is flipping, but, like, Triple H is not a flipper, and, I don't know, like, RVD always made it, like, it's kind of, like, slow flips a little bit, too, so it's always just like, oh, let me just roll around a little bit here, like, and,
Flip
you know,
RVD
yell
just
at Chris
flipped
Jericho
off
for a second.
Jericho for some reason.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the reason is because Jericho's next. Oh, sure.
no. I thought Goldberg was next.
Wait, what's the top of the, is that mesh? Like,
Yeah,
because they don't do
kinda.
that anymore. They have, the plexiglass on the top now.
Yeah, I mean, the new Elimination Chamber is definitely like more conducive to what RVD's trying to do now.
Yeah, that
How good are Hunter
definitely
and
doesn't look
Jericho?
straight.
Oh, they were great at this time. I think Jericho's one half of the World Tag Team Champions at this point with Christian.
Yes.
Christian!
They actually end up losing it the next month to Booker T and Goldust.
Yeah, how did that flip work for you?
Yeah. Essentially, like you just hit Triple H with your arm and just threw yourself onto the steel.
It's like, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to break my ass. That's what I'm going to do.
Shawn Michaels is praying for it now.
For context of the time period, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had like just happened a few months before this, and there's a lot of Spider-Man references.
Oh, does fucking Bonesaw pop up in this? Be great if
Bonesaw's
Macho
ready.
Man just pops up. Bonesaw's ready to eliminate some fucking chambers. And like, you know.
I mean, Randy Savage wasn't here, but this was the pay-per-view that Scott Steiner debuted in WWE, like
Oh,
re-debuted
shit.
in WWE. Yeah, I know.
With the sirens?
Yep, holler if you hear me.
I'm really sad about that Hulk Hogan news, though. I would love to have seen a pay-per-view program with Hogan and Brock.
All right, now we got our first countdown.
Yeah. I wonder, we should probably be timing the bits in between the people entering, see if it's just as wild as the Royal Rumble stuff.
Well, they're 5 minutes in between.
Yeah, but is it really 5 minutes? Or is it just when they feel like it's right?
Yeah, I'm assuming that they just kind of go on a whim. Just kind of
That's
like,
great
they've
stuff.
got like a counter and it's like, are we around the 5 minute mark? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. Like, so I don't know if that's still the same sound effect or not. I don't think that is. It doesn't sound familiar.
Definitely not.
No.
That
By the way,
beep,
there's
beep.
blood on the floor or on the canvas of this ring already, and it's not from Triple H because it was there during the entrance. I'm wondering who was bleeding earlier in the night.
Oh, that would have been, I'm trying to think who would be bleeding at the start. I mean, Triple H is busted open, so.
The women
But-
did have a hardcore match that night. Trish
Yeah.
and Victoria.
I'm trying to think if
don't-
anything else would have caused it. I don't remember anyone else being busted open in any other match than that. I think the only thing I remember from that is Victoria got busted open at one point. But
Yeah, that might have been her blood.
oh, here's the
Some-
Spider-Man.
There
Yep.
you go. Yeah, this is Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
It's funny. There's only been one pin attempt this entire match so far.
Real quick side note: do you guys like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man?
Yes, I think it gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
If you give
too.
me the first
I-
Spider-Man movie with either Garfield or Holland as Spider-Man, and well, all right, give me Garfield as Spider-Man, give me Emma Stone as Mary Jane, and do that first movie, then you've got the best Spider-Man movie.
I never liked Garfield as Spider-Man.
I don't.
cool.
I never saw the Garfield Spider-Man movies.
You're not missing too much.
Jericho's about to do his like, yeah, special
Come
pose.
on, baby, Adam Cole.
Adam Cole.
Wonder how old Adam Cole was during this match.
12. Actually, you know what? Let me look
Do you
that up.
think Kane ever put Katie Vick in something like an Elimination Chamber?
Oh God,
Triple
yeah.
H might have.
That's like 3 weeks removed from that. This is where we are.
And people wondered why SmackDown was killing it in the ratings compared to Raw.
Ah, fuck. Adam Cole is younger than I am. He was
Yeah,
born in
how does that
'89.
make you feel, huh?
So he was 13. I joked that he was 12. Fuck. Give me one of those chains. We can hang myself.
Well, the two heels like gain up, considering the fact that in a May or whatever, Chris Jericho and Triple H were fighting in a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, they killed each other in May with that Hell in a Cell.
Doing the suck it.
You can't do that anymore. He's a Christian.
So
But
the
he would,
Elimination
no,
Chamber, I mean, let's talk about this, because it hasn't changed much over the years. We've had however many of them that we've had since 2002, and they've got pretty much the same structure. And
Yeah.
they've changed a
until
couple
last
things
year,
here and
they
there.
made it more of like a cube.
Yeah, they
like
kind of make it a little like octagonal or whatever shape it is now, but you still have the chains are still there the way that they are. They're probably sturdier and a little bit safer now.
Yeah.
But you've got that metal grate on the outside there. That, to me, has always seemed like that is probably the thing that hurts the most.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Like right now, they're standing on here and they're throwing them against the side. Well, the chain's got some give to it. That can't hurt too much.
Well, they managed to hit the bar there, right?
Yeah, the bar. They don't just hit the bar; they are the bar. When you hit them on you body slam them on that grate or something like that, that's just gotta fucking hurt, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is obviously the first of 20. I think there have been 20 Elimination Chambers now.
Jesus, really?
Yeah. And I'd still argue that this is one of the better ones.
Do you guys, for reference of the time frame that we're at right now, I mean, we're recording this a little bit ahead of time, recording this on the 2nd, and it's not going to go up for a couple days, but with the Elimination Chamber that's coming up with the women's, we've seen Sasha Banks just on this past episode of Monday Night Raw damn near kill herself with doing a dive. And it sounds mean to say, but yeah, it was a good DDT. It sounds mean to say, but a lot of the women's matches don't necessarily end up coming off as safe as some of the men's. Do you guys think that we're going to get a pretty bad injury this time around with the women's match?
It depends on who's in there.
I mean, if Banks is in there, there's always a chance.
Well, now we know Booker T's in there.
Why do you gotta crap on Sasha? What did Sasha do to you?
Well, thankfully not a suicide dive.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with Sasha. I think she's a great wrestler, but there's no doubt that she's going to kill herself in the ring one day.
But I think she does that to try to recreate matches like this instead of playing it safe the way both genders on the rosters do now.
Real quick side note, you see the little patch in the ring?
Yeah.
They patched the canvas. Just noticed it right now with Booker doing that, right around Booker's feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the Women's Elimination Chamber match, obviously I hope that we don't get any kind of injuries because it's never good to have any kind of injuries in WWE. But you look at like the way that they are doing this now and how even after 20 whatever matches, they have still not figured out a way to make this match safer for the most part.
No, not really.
So I'm just a little bit nervous about you might get somebody like a Dana Brooke if she's in the match or something like that who isn't too too safe in the ring, does some kind of move and just slightly botches, and before you know it, she body slams Bayley head first onto the grate or something like that. You know, like
I mean, I'm thinking if Nia Jax is in the match, somebody's going to go through the plexiglass.
Oh, probably Nia Jax.
Yeah, Nia will charge towards somebody, and they'll move out of the way, and she'll go head first into the plexiglass. That's a guarantee.
Either that, or she
Bayley and Sasha do a double drop kick, and she goes flying ass first through the plexiglass.
Yeah, that might happen too. There have been a couple times where people have gone through the plexiglass, and then there's that one time where Mark Henry did that whole thing.
Oh, scissor kick.
I think you actually are a little bit ahead of me.
No, I was just calling it because
I think he was calling it beforehand.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute.
I know what the setup is.
I'm at 2:14:39:40. If
Yeah,
anybody
remember-
is, we'll check it out.
Remember in the old SmackDown games where that
Nope.
wasn't even called a scissors kick? That was just called the Booker T special.
What?
Uh,
Why? It's not like it's an
Ah.
offensive name.
I don't know. I guess they didn't know what it was called. By the way,
Hmm.
RVD's about to kill himself.
oh no, this is this goes really, really badly.
This is
Alright, I'm
bad.
curious about what this is now because
Well,
I
this
do
is-
not know what's coming up next. I mean, I'm assuming it's a frog splash that's like bounces like a crazy.
Triple H
Well, it's the
cracked
worst
the
frog splash
ribs.
ever.
Oh.
Oh,
That wasn't really good.
see,
And is that where he injured his trachea right there?
yeah,
Oh,
RVD actually like legitimately landed on Triple H's neck, so he
Oh.
like really injured his. He had trouble breathing basically for the remainder of the match,
and he
Oof.
fucking finishes the match. See, that would not happen today.
and
If that
RVD
happened, with
nearly
the
blew his
women-
leg out. Yeah,
everything's fucking done. If that happens with the women's match, everything's canceled.
Hmm.
And Booker T gets him on a missile dropkick, and that's how RVD gets eliminated. That much I remember.
yeah, that's the last time I ever remember seeing someone get eliminated, like get pinned after a missile dropkick.
Oh yeah.
Wow, yeah. Even Lawler's like, whoa, shit.
Yeah, the crowd just booing the hell out of that.
Well, RVD
Well,
in New
it's
York
RVD. Yeah, thank you, Tony.
makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, he tries to pin Triple H here as well.
Do you blame him?
Oh no, of course you would.
Fucking Ebner.
Triple H is so good. I would kill for like one more match with this Triple H.
I mean, Triple H at this point, I mean, I think he's still very good in the ring, but he was never the same after his quadricep tear.
Oh yeah, after the 2007 one, he becomes 5 moves of doom guy. He just
Hmm.
punch, clothesline, spinebuster.
No,
Pedigree.
even after the 2001 one, he's a lot slower in the ring. He's bulked up immensely because he used to be a lot like
He
was
used to.
definitely big.
You go back Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Triple H. There's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Well-
still big in 2001, but he was more like defined, and now he's just like basically just bulking up constantly.
Well, because when he was injured the first time, he really found a passion for bodybuilding. The second time, I think it was more like, okay, I'm a father, time to be safe.
Mm.
I do not recognize that other referee on the outside.
It's not Mike Chioda, I'll tell you that much.
Nah, not Robinson either.
No, I can't. I
Uh,
can't.
Is that referee Chad Patton? Is that Chad Patton? Someone check that?
Where are our interns?
Entry number 5 is
Oh,
Kane.
my God, it's Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
I think he's got a shot.
Yeah, the masked Kane, still with a beard as well.
So what do you think about this era Kane? I know there's a lot of, like, differing opinions.
This
is
is after the 2001 Royal Rumble where he was kicking ass. He's got
Yeah.
good ring gear on. I like it.
This is the start of like the real comedy Kane character. Like previous to this, he'd just gotten out of being the tag team champions with the Hurricane.
Yeah.
The Katie Vick stuff happened. This is where Kane was starting to lose a lot of what made him like an unstoppable monster at the start of his career.
And
Well,
he
he
was-
had some comedy stuff back when I was watching, even when he was like
Oh.
with X-Pac and stuff.
Oh yeah, but like he still had like that monstrous aspect to him. Now he's feeling a lot more human or just normal big man as opposed to like fire breathing monster. But this
oh,
is
there
pretty-
goes the plexiglass.
that was pretty cool. But the crowd went absolutely mental for that because that's the first time it's happened.
Everything's the first time it's happened in this match.
Oh yeah, I know, but like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wouldn't get the reaction nowhere near as big nowadays if that happened, even if it
Well,
was
'cause-
good.
It's a
People
smart
are
move having
also-
Kane to be the one that does it too.
Yeah.
People are also very spoiled now. They want this. If they don't get this, then how
Yeah.
dare you?
Triple H doing the flare flop there.
Although I will admit, with the plexiglass, it always seems a little lame that it's
Yeah.
plexiglass, you know? But I mean, you gotta fucking do plexiglass. You can't do actual glass.
Oh no.
Well, we should. You know? Fuck it. Put Elias through real glass. He's suffering for his art.
That was kind of awkward, that pickup.
Yeah. I don't know how many matches like Kane has like Elimination Chamber matches Kane has been in. I think like Triple H,
That was
Kane,
a
and
really bad choke slam.
yeah, Triple H, Kane, and Chris Jericho have probably been in the most out of anybody.
So anytime there was a Raw one, Triple H, Jericho, and Shawn had some kind of involvement, even if it was just being the referee for Shawn in 05. They were always in there.
Triple H was in 6 of them, and so was John Cena. They have the record. Edge was in 4. Or actually, no, they don't have the record. I'm not looking at this right. Chris Jericho was in 8. He has the record.
Yeah.
Triple H, John Cena, Randy Orton all have 6, and Kane has 5.
Yeah. Pretty.
Yeah. This was the Triple H special for a while.
Not the Booker T special?
Yeah. No, not the Booker T special. The Hell in a Cell. Do you guys remember that they used to show that awesome video package whenever Triple H got into a Hell in a Cell match because he never lost them?
Yeah, he didn't lose one until 2005. So
fucking Batista.
But yeah, it is quite interesting to just look, because obviously Booker T's just got eliminated here. It's just interested as well to see these were like the 6 biggest stars of Raw at the time, like the guys that you could legitimately see being world heavyweight champion.
And so it's a good 6.
Oh, yeah, it's very good.
You can't really. I mean, there's different qualities for different people and stuff, and you can sub in like replace Kane with Batista here and there, or you can, switch now and then with different people and stuff. But you give me these 6 people and say that that's your main event for Raw, it's like, yeah, okay.
You can believe that. Not like, and I'm not knocking the guy, but Elias.
Yeah, he's got a little while to go.
Yeah. You don't really. I don't know on Raw if there was like any other people that would really match up to this level at this point, because maybe someone like Christian was on the cusp of it, but you had people on Raw like Bubba Ray Dudley and Stevie Richards and Rico who were on every week.
I mean, if you want context, when Triple H wins the world title, the first number 1 contenders match to see who's going to fight at Unforgiven is Bubba, a 2002 Jeff, who was nowhere near the star that he is now, Rob Van Dam, and The Big Show. Very awkward 4-way.
And it's also funny to see the people that have been in the Elimination Chamber since this time, where we've gotten like
Mike Knox.
Oh, we got Knox. We got Kofi Kingston getting eliminated before getting into the Elimination Chamber. We got R-Truth.
That was good, though.
Big Daddy V.
Carlito. Santino.
Yeah.
Santino lasted till the end, too. And here comes Shawn Michaels. Looking real bad.
Just all the punches. I mean, Shawn isn't back to his peak yet. I mean, he had a great match with Triple H SummerSlam, but he's definitely not back.
He's definitely not Shawn.
Which is so silly, because a month later, he's in full Shawn Michaels attire. He's having a killer 2 out of 3 falls with Hunter. I think his confidence just wasn't there this night.
No, this is like still at a point where he's thinking, how long is this going to last, almost? Like, he doesn't know. I don't think at this point. Yeah.
He didn't do the kick up.
I don't think at this point he knows whether he's going to stay for an extended period of time. I don't think he knew until about
I think by the next month or by the Rumble he knew.
Yeah, but I don't think he knew at this point. He knew at this point obviously, but I think about only a couple of days beforehand he'd been told that he's going to win the world title. So he had no idea. He thought he was just coming in to just have the match and lose or put Triple H over or something like that, and they said, no, we're going to give you the title.
Yeah, like if I was watching around this time, I probably would have thought that this would have turned out to be Shawn Michaels won that last match. Okay, this is going to cement Triple H as the top guy. It'll be Shawn versus Triple H at the end, and Triple H will screw him over and win. That's probably what I would have assumed. That would have been up on smarkatmoment.com, which would have been like a bunch of gifts.
Angel Fire.
Some GeoCities page kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Kane doing the kill everybody spot with chokeslams. Now he's going to try.
So the next chamber lineup with Goldberg is a really intense chamber, which in that one, that pretty much happens, Tony, where Goldberg kills everybody, gets up to Triple H, and Triple H screws him.
Sledgehammer, right? Oop,
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice super kick.
Super kick.
This is a really cool ending.
Young Bucks would have been proud of that one. Oh. No
He
selling.
was
all
pretty
three
damn
guys
quick for
together.
getting a super kick like that.
Yeah. No selling the super kick.
Well, because I think he was supposed to do what they would do a million times after this. Super kick, spin around, into the pedigree, into the lion salt.
That makes sense.
That's 2 pins for the Lion Soul as well now. There we go. 2 pins for a Lion Soul. I don't think he's ever gotten that since.
9-year-old me really marked out for that spot, by the way. These are 3 of my favorite guys of all time.
And Jericho, according to Wikipedia right now, at the very least, has the record for most eliminations in an Elimination Chamber. Not in a single one. I don't know that for sure, but most overall.
It's great because this is sowing the seeds for the Jericho-Michaels feud that took place through quite a lot of 2003, which is probably one of the key factors of me actually getting into wrestling in the first place, was their match at WrestleMania 19. Definitely one of my favourite matches.
Really love that match.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite matches. I know it's not technically like, if you would look at it objectively, it's not one of the greatest matches of all time, but it's just
not anymore. But at the time, it was fucking amazing. Like,
yeah, that was the match that you kind of knew that Michaels was back, and he's back full time because
he's back,
and he's better than ever.
His hair grew back.
It's just because this is the start of the the start of the 2002 onwards Michaels run. Do you class that as better than his original run with WWE?
I don't know. I mean, there's pluses and minuses when it comes to. It's sort of like there's
Very
3. Actually, I would consider it to be like there's 4 eras of Shawn Michaels. There's Rockers Michaels. There's the Click. There's the return of like around this time frame, heading up until like retirement Michaels.
Mm.
And for my money, retirement Michaels is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But when somebody says to me, like, who's the best of all time, I always think Shawn Michaels. And for some reason, if somebody says to me, Shawn Michaels, I always go to 1996. I guess it's just like that initial reign just burned itself in my brain. Even though I actually prefer DX Shawn Michaels to Heartbreak Kid, like, with the Click and that type of babyface and stuff.
Like early DX Shawn Michaels, or
yeah, like real douchebag Michaels. That's my favorite one.
I mean, it's fine to look back at Michaels at that point because like 96, 97 is the time where he's the guy, whereas this is around about the time where he's still in the main event, but he's more in the business of putting the next generation over.
Yeah.
Which one of the key points of the Ruthless Aggression era, which is what we're right at the start of here, is that Austin and Rock are gone and there is no guy, you know?
Well, Lesnar was supposed to be the guy.
Yeah, and he dipped after a year and a half.
Yeah, and that's where Triple H kind of filled a lot of the void, I guess. Just, all right, we don't have a guy. Fuck it. I'll be the guy. Well,
Triple H filled the void and then also prevented anybody else who was better suited to fill the void as well. So.
yeah, that kind of seems like the case.
I mean, I know I'm coming across as quite negative toward Triple H. Again, I don't take anything away from him as a worker or as like his mind for the business, but at this point in time, he was taking advantage of the fact that Rock and Austin were gone to just take the position for himself, whether he really deserved it or not.
Well, who at that time would have been better suited, do you think?
Well, at this point, this is just at the start of the brand split. And the brand split was essentially a vehicle not only to drive competition, but then also there was only ever supposed to be one undisputed champion across both brands. And that was supposed to be Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was supposed to be the guy, really, but Triple H starts getting into the ear and saying, we think Raw should have its own world champion because that means
Do you really think that was Triple H saying
100%, that? 150%, because like there's enough history behind Triple H maneuvering and politicking his way into title wins and other situations that, of course, I mean, this is the point in time where he's still like courting and close to marrying Stephanie McMahon. You don't think he's in Vince's ear any opportunity he can get.
That's true. That he is real close to marrying her here. I think like less than a year.
Yeah, it was 2003. Yeah, towards the end of 2003, I think they got married.
Credit where it's due, though. I think that the brand split is one of the reasons why there's no the guy.
Yeah.
More so than Triple H, because it's like, if you split things in half, then you suddenly have to do double the work, kind of, even though it seems like you shouldn't.
Mm.
And you're building up, like, not to just shit on him because to shit on him, but a guy like a Rob Van Dam, in this match, he's a main event guy. If you have one roster and you take all the Raw and all the SmackDown people, everybody that becomes a main eventer in a brand split, they kind of start fighting for that top spot and they start going a little bit down the card. And, a Rob Van Dam in a non-brand split era is a mid-carder. He's not a main event guy. So you get a Rob Van Dam in the main event like this, and suddenly he's a bigger deal, but he still isn't a Rock or an Austin. Mm. He's, Razor Ramon was fucking huge. Never won a world title. So it's like,
oh, that's a nice moonsault as well.
That was a very good moonsault.
Good pin too, like right into it.
Yeah.
Hebner fucking takes his time though.
That was a really good. I was going to say, it was a really good spot earlier with like using the line salt again, because that got a really big pop. Because they've already established that it eliminated 2 people, and so kicking out of it was like just got a really good reaction. So I think that was good storytelling there.
I was going to make that point as well. Shawn Michaels trying to beat another Canadian with his submission hold, and Triple H with that gorgeous DDT.
Yeah, Michaels didn't sell it as well as RVD though.
Anyone listening back to this is like, this guy is just creaming himself over 2002 Triple H, but he was so good. Like, this is me as a kid. These 3 guys were the reason that I loved wrestling, you know?
Mm. When I originally saw it, I thought this was pretty stupid because, like, Jericho's just about to pin Michaels and Triple H pulls him off. So I know it's like an ego thing, but it just came across as pretty stupid, really.
Well, that makes sense, though, that he just says, "What the hell are you doing? I was just about to pin his ass." Like,
yeah, I've never liked that in multi-man matches when they're like, "Oh, he's about to eliminate him." No, the other guy stops him. Why? What are you gaining?
Mm.
In this case, at least they're telling the story of Triple H is obsessed with being better than Shawn, and he wants to beat Shawn for himself.
Yeah.
Of course, we would learn later that Jericho is also obsessed with being better than Shawn.
There's a running theme of people being obsessed with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Look at like the Young Bucks, Dolph Ziggler, everybody's just sort of like, even like a Roderick Strong.
Super kick is coming, I think.
Yeah.
Anytime Jericho is in the ring doing a Walls of Jericho on somebody and Shawn Michaels is around, it just becomes like, all right, where's that super kick?
Yeah. I don't know any submission move that gets as big a pop as when Jericho puts the Walls of Jericho in, and it's it's just a busting grab, and like it just gets such a huge reaction whenever he's about to put it in.
Maybe the sharpshooter.
I was gonna say the sharpshooter, but like Brett wasn't around to do it.
Oh, there it goes.
So nice.
That's a good one.
That was nice.
That's it, man. As much as people keep doing those super kicks, the Usos do them, and I mean, it's just everybody fucking does them now. They just lack that oomph that Michaels has. I mean, he nails people, and he does it perfectly safe.
Mm. No, I'll give Triple H credit for this. He didn't pin a single person in this match.
Oh, yeah.
So
he really doesn't.
so he could have, so I'll give him credit for just giving the other guys the rub for that one.
It would have made sense for him to at least eliminate like Booker or something.
Or an injured windpipe or whatever it is here. He's, holding his own.
Oh yeah, one thing I will obviously always give Triple H credit for is like he's a beast in the ring. Like, he doesn't matter how injured or hurt he is, he's going to try and finish off the match in the best he can.
And real quick shout out to Earl Hebner. Like, that's a referee that there isn't a lot of them now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, somebody like myself, I pay attention as much as I can. So like John Cone pops up, and I'm like, oh, it's John Cone, like that kind of thing. But if you say to a wrestling fan Earl Hebner, they mostly know what you're talking about. If you go, hey, John Cone, they're like, who? And
then you got
that sound.
Yeah. Did you hear? Did you see his knee though? Like,
Paul Michael Cole. Did you just hear that? My!
This was big in the period where basically every wrestler was targeting Shawn Michaels' back,
Oh yeah, because it was like Shawn Michaels has an injured back, and we don't know how well it is. After about 04, 05, they finally stopped that.
Yeah, they start going after his legs or his eyes or something like that instead.
Then it becomes Shawn Michaels has an injured soul.
Punch his wife in the face.
He hit him right in the wife. Oh, a pedigree on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, I know. Yeah, this is a cool spot.
This has been replayed in every chamber package since. Oh, God. He's got a family, damn it.
Both of them doing their best Ric Flair impression, bleeding from the head.
Yeah, this was a period of time where basically any Shawn Michaels Triple H match was just buckets of blood being spilled between both of them.
I would love to do commentary over the Hell in a Cell or the Last Man Standing that these two end up having.
Well, if you have an hour spare, then maybe. Those matches were long.
I wonder if I put up a poll of like what the one match is that if people were like, do this one, I wonder what that would end up being.
We should do that at one point.
One match that I know I really, really want to do a commentary track for is the Iron Man match.
Brett and Shawn?
Yeah. I really want to do that at some point.
I will do that with you, and because of this, I've never been able to finish that one. I always give up like halfway through.
So do most of the audience.
Well, you know what would really freak me out about that is that end of every Smack Talk episode, that 1, 2, 3 is from that match. So when that pops up, if we were to do a commentary track, I'd be like, all right, it's time to get counted out.
Yeah, people will hear that during the actual match itself, and then they'll just think, "Oh, time to turn off the." podcast.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Why is it still going? What the fuck?" This is classic JR too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been paying too much to the commentary since we've been talking, but this is when JR was still good.
Oh yeah, I mean, this isn't anywhere near the passion that he was showing in the Michaels Triple H Street Fight from SummerSlam. Like that one, he was like, that was one of the best matches I think JR ever called. But he's still awesome in this match.
So I'm going to throw this out there. I don't know how much we're going to record commentary during WrestleMania season, but I would love to do the three-way with Benoit.
Well, then we'd have to. It'd be like, all right, it looks like Triple H is getting punched by nothingness right now, like that kind of thing.
Steven Richards is on the attack. Yeah, but that three-way. Back in 2004, I had never seen a match better.
Always like that little spot.
Whoa!
Triple H doing the knee.
Gets right up and then straight over again.
Yeah, Shawn pops right up. I thought he was just going to start attacking Triple H with the way that he got up like that.
Shawn's just living on the steel at the moment. He's just enjoying it. I mean, he just doesn't want to be in the ring.
Yeah, it's something different.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels very much was in every WWE first. He was in the first ladder match, first Hell in a Cell, first Chamber.
That's like a call to the one of Triple H's most underrated feuds, which is with Hebner. Hebner. They had a huge feud for most of the time.
There's so many slingshots.
And Triple H
is one of the dumbest moves.
Yeah.
Have we ever seen in an Elimination Chamber somebody pick up the plexiglass and hit somebody with it afterward?
Braun Strowman might. Keep your eyes peeled.
I am so excited to see what Braun does. You know he's got to do something cool.
I'm hoping he rips one of the pods from the wall and starts throwing it at somebody.
Just actually hits him with an entire pod.
Yeah. Then John
I'd like to see. We haven't seen this as far as I know. Somebody ripping off a piece of chain and hitting somebody with chain.
That would be brutal, man.
Just make one that's like got a weak link to it, so people know which one it is. And
we'll have Strowman rip it off
with his hands.
Yeah, with his bare hands, just rip this.
Get these hands, boys! Like, come on.
Yeah.
Next jump off.
By the way, Shawn Michaels, not to be outdone, has bled more than Hunter, is going to dive better than RVD.
Yep. He actually is able to pull off the dive instead of hitting in the fucking throat.
Yeah, if I was Triple H, I would have been like I mean, I know he probably feels quite safe with Shawn Michaels, but I would have been petrified to take that move because just any slight slip and his neck could have like collapsed in on itself at that point.
I think they actually have a little bit more room now too between the top of the pod.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Starting
Yeah.
with the redesigned one last year, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot safer to, if you do want to perform high flying moves from the top of it, it's definitely, you've got more of a platform to stand on, you've got more room to stand. It makes it a lot easier.
Also, isn't it kind of strange when you are in a normal match and you go to the top rope, it's like, oh crap, they're on the top rope. This is so tall. And then you get into a match like this and they get to the top of the pod and it doesn't seem that much bigger.
No.
But it is. It's like that's a big fucking height, you know? Like,
well, it's nearly twice the size of the turnbuckle, but
yeah. You're basically doing double the amount, and the top rope is like a big deal in a normal thing.
Oh, this is brilliant. This sequence is really good, I think.
Is there any finishing move better than the pedigree?
The super kick.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
I've never liked the
As long
pedigree.
as Shawn's doing it.
Yeah, I've always gone. I mean, pedigree I think is a great move, but I've always gone more with the RKO in terms of finishing moves.
Yes, RKO is a great move.
I actually think the stunner is better than the RKO when like it comes to. I mean, the RKO is fun when it comes out of nowhere, but the stunner looks like it hurts more to me.
Oh, great kick out!
By the way, kicking out of finishers meant so much more in 2002, man.
Yeah. Like this time, you'd have to hit like 3 more pedigrees before you actually started caring about kicker.
Look, he's like begging Hebner, please.
Crowd are getting excited. They can sense this is happening. They didn't want to believe it.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably started screaming at that point right there.
Yeah.
Nice super kick.
God, the crowd go crazy.
2, 3, do you believe in miracles? Shawn Michaels is the world champion, and he would lose it in a month, and that never sat right with me.
Hey, got him another world title reign.
I always wanted Shawn to have like a run with the title, because he would always be in the world title match, but he would never win.
I think it was almost a case of like his run from 2002 onwards was kind of his recompense for what he did in the like mid-90s, where he was constantly keeping people down to try and keep hold of the championship and stay on top. This is kind of his giving back to WWE and just doing what Vince told him to do.
Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe? It's just kind of like, confetti all over the place. The poor sap has to clean that up.
He does look good with that belt. I think the belt suits him.
That belt suits almost anybody. That belt makes people look like an actual champion. There's a reason. There's a reason Undertaker never held the spinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been so ridiculous seeing that. You know, if Undertaker would have won that spinner belt, they would have redesigned it then.
Yeah, they would have had to, yeah.
You know, it's fine when The Miz has it. It's okay when Randy Orton has it, but no for Undertaker.
I think Miz
whole crowd on its feet.
I think Miz was the only guy that looked all right with the spinner.
Other than Cena, you mean?
Yeah.
Look at the confetti. It's amazing.
So much confetti.
That was a huge moment. That was something like you never thought you'd see. I realized, in 2018, it's kind of laughable, but Shawn Michaels being in the ring was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, when I stopped watching wrestling, it was like, no, Shawn Michaels is done. Like, that's another one of the reasons why I stopped watching at the time was just because it was like, no more Shawn Michaels anymore. But then you get a world champion.
So for your first time, how was that,
logo. Admittedly, not the best chamber match, but fun. Something that I'm glad I actually sat down and watched. I mean, that's one of those matches that I had seen bits and pieces of over the years, but never actually just said, fuck it, I'll watch the whole thing. Still plenty of other chamber matches that I haven't seen and stuff, but the reason why we did this one, of course, first ever women's, first ever period.
I think a chamber is one of those matches that in rewatching it and in retrospect, they never hold up. Because the roster changes and you'll kind of look at it like, oh, really, that guy was a main eventer? Or, oh, really, they had everybody get the shit kicked out of them by Goldberg? Or, you know, there's always something that just doesn't look right in present time.
I mean, I kind of appreciate it still with this match, the 6 people that lined up there, because there were 6 people that were either former or future world champions. So at least you could kind of get the sense that they were all legitimate main eventers at the time, and they could at any point in their careers still main event. But I do get the same feeling that it doesn't hold up as well as when you first see it, obviously. But give it credit, the Elimination Chamber is one of those gimmicks which has survived, because you could have had, like, obviously it's a much better concept than like a Kennel from Hell match or something, but there are many gimmick matches that just fall by the wayside after 1 or 2 uses, and it's persevered and become like one of the go-to matches in WWE.
Yeah, it's a solid gimmick, I think. There's many other ones that we've had over the years that have been kind of a little bit wonky, but the Elimination Chamber is kind of like, let's take the best parts of Hell in a Cell and add a little bit of Royal Rumble to it, kind of, because you don't really know who's coming out next. So, I mean, I like the Chamber. I like it better when we do kind of what we're doing this year, which is one of the matches is to determine who fights at WrestleMania who isn't the Royal Rumble winner, because to me that's sort of like, all right, you didn't win the Royal Rumble, and you need to figure out something else to kind of put them through, I guess. Like, you lost that, you gotta fucking earn it now, and you gotta fight in the goddamn cage to do it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what's cool to me about it.
Yeah, it's like you missed your chance at the Royal Rumble. Now you've essentially got to go through WWE's version of Hell, essentially. I mean, I know they have Hell in a Cell, but like, this is you've got to face 5 other guys in a brutal steel structure in order to get your way to WrestleMania. So,
Yeah.
Do you prefer this or Hell in a Cell?
Honestly, nowadays, this.
Yeah, nowadays this is better than Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell right now is just
a cage match, yeah.
Not even so much a cage match, it's just a hardcore match that every once in a while they throw the person onto the side of the Hell in a Cell.
Or Shane falls off it.
Yeah. So Hell in a Cell, I mean, now, like, I don't want that to be a pay-per-view anymore. I've wanted it to stop for years. Same with TLC, but TLC is a different story.
Yeah, that's the sense that I get with it, because Elimination Chamber, like the way that you say, Tony, it's a good thing to do in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, is like the final chance to earn a spot at WrestleMania. So you can build an entire pay-per-view around it. Whereas
you can
the Hell in a Cell,
call it No Way Out. You don't have to call it Elimination Chamber. That's always been sour with me. Like, why do you have to announce these? Oh, we're having a TLC match. Why? Because it's TLC, you know?
Well, yeah, that's the point. Like, you can still call it No Way Out, but I like the idea of the Elimination Chamber being something that you can do at the same time every single year. Whereas Hell in a Cell has lost its mystique because it's delivered at the same time every year. So no matter how big or important the feuds are leading up to it, you know there has to be a Hell in a Cell at the end of that month.
Yep. So it's different for the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber because it's got a path to it.
Yeah. And it's not like you really would build up like a 6-way feud and say, all right, you 6 guys are battling for the title or whatever, so we're going to put you all in the Elimination Chamber. Whereas Hell in a Cell, it's a one-on-one feud usually, so you can build that up over time. It's not like you're going to have like 6 people feuding over the course of 3 or 4 months and said, right, now we've got to put you in the Elimination Chamber. It makes more sense to have this as a gimmick based that you can base pay-per-view around.
And now they're even worse because now it's like, you know, you're going to get a chamber and you know you're probably going to get a female version of whatever gimmick match you're doing, because now it's all about like equality, and if there's a male Money in the Bank, there's a female Money in the Bank. I wish these matches would have more reasoning.
I'm totally cool with the idea of them doing a male and a female of every match, but I don't want them to do... Like, this is... What's strange to me is this is in Survivor Series. Elimination Chamber in Survivor Series? Why not a Survivor Series match? You know, like, that is the type of stuff that bugs me a little bit.
Well, this is weird for the 2002 one, because there was only one elimination match, well, in terms of, like, traditional tag team elimination match. And it wasn't even traditional, because it was a 3-on-3 table elimination match. This was the one year where Survivor Series basically went off the rails.
Yeah, I guess that they were kind of just like, well, this is kind of like a Survivor Series. It's elimination, like, yeah.
Yeah, they played around with the idea of elimination. So they had the Elimination Chamber, obviously. Before this, they had a triple threat elimination tag team match for the SmackDown tag team titles. And
that wasn't elimination. Was it elimination?
Yeah, it was, because it was Los Guerreros versus Edge and Rey Mysterio versus
and Benoit and Angle.
Yeah, and Benoit and Angle got eliminated first, and then the Guerreros won. But so they had some aspects of elimination still in it, but this was the one where they just decided to cast away from all tradition, which is weird because like I make the assumption that makes it like not really Survivor Series, but this is one of my favorite Survivor Series of all time, so it kind of worked as a one-off.
Well, as we talked about, they were doing a lot of experimental decisions. Like they got rid of a lot of titles, and they got rid of,
a lot of fans.
Survivor Series matches. They got rid of a lot of fans. They lost their faces. They lost Hogan. A lot of things were happening in 2002. But as you kind of said, it's one of my favorite years, if not my favorite year, period.
Well, people are confused right now about why the ticker is still going, but that's because I'm lazy and I don't want to figure out when the end of that was to stop it. But yeah, you could tell. I mean, we've been past that point.
It stops itself,
Not on the editing.
Oh yeah,
that's a different story. That's me on Sony Vegas going, I'll just let it run.
Well, you know what the end point is? It's the end of the pay-per-view on like WWE Network.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for that part, but not for the audio stream that we're doing. But it's fine to have a little bit of afterward stuff, and I guess
you
it's
do
just
technicalities.
Yeah. But that is our thoughts, or those are our thoughts. That's what grammar is. That apply to at least the first ever normal Elimination Chamber match. Since we are recording this ahead of time, we don't know any more information about what the Elimination Chamber matches that are coming up for 2018 are going to be. All we know right now is John Cena, Elias, and who's the other one? Braun Strowman. And we can, of course, assume Roman Reigns. And obviously, Alexa Bliss is going to be in the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match. Most likely Bayley, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, and I don't know,
Ronda Rousey,
Mickie James, or something like that.
Ronda Rousey.
But that is something that we will be paying attention to more in a little bit of time, because the not next week after that, but for the following week is going to be our predictions for the 2018 Elimination Chamber, and then of course the post show for that. But next week, what you guys are going to be hearing is a Call the Spot. And the way that works, if you are unfamiliar with Call the Spot, is that we're going to take all those people that are in those Elimination Chamber matches and rank them top to bottom. We got like Hall of Fame all the way down to released. So stay tuned for all that kind of stuff happening. And if you want to be aware of when that does go up, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel and ring the bell for notifications. You could also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Smark Out Moment. And pay attention to Fanboys Anonymous as well, because that stuff's been going on here and there, and hopefully the channel will stay monetized. If you want to help with that, keep playing a bunch of videos as much as you can to boost up our watch time.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, it's always good to have that stuff running, everybody. And if you are interested in donating $1 a month, or even more if you can, the Patreons for Smark Out Moment and Fanboys Anonymous are both obviously at like patreon.com/smarkoutmoment, patreon.com/fanboysanonymous, whatever those links are. But those are my plugs. I need to get to these other plugs here. Callum, what do you want to toss out there?
Well, I've got a plug for my kettle and a plug for my dehumidifier. And you can also find me on Twitter at WeekMeister14.
No hair plugs though, right?
Nah, not quite yet. My hair isn't that long.
If you figure it out, give some to Baron Corbin.
Oh.
Robert,
follow me everywhere at Dude Felice, and I've got to go upload the Triple Threat.
Yeah, stay tuned to all the stuff on smarkoutmoment.com itself too, everybody, because those weekly articles are weekly. That's the point of them being weekly. And anything else that's on smarkoutmoment.com, of course, you will see there. But that'll do us in for this Smark Announce Table. It's time for us to go. Thanks for listening, everybody. Drop your comments below and tell me what you think about this match or anything else you want to talk about. We will see you next time. This has been another Smark Out Moment, and we're being counted out.